because I, you know, did my makeup, went to go film the sit down video for the week, and the camera died right after I filmed my intro. So that's charging. I don't know how long it needs. I'm gonna give it like 30 minutes. And oh my gosh, the eyelashes keep getting stuck together. Like Katy Perry, she gets it. Everybody thought she was like AI, but I'm like, no. If you have naturally long lashes, I don't know if hers are natural, but mine are. And they get stuck together when you put makeup on them, and it is not fun. It's like an uncomfortable feeling. I hate it. But we're gonna go through the weekly TBR. The weekly quote is, "Home is the nicest word there is," by Laura Ingalls Wilder. And that is so true. That's not something that I really think about. I think a lot of us take our homes for granted, but this is like, for real, my favorite place in the universe. Like, I know I say that about like St. Simon's, Italy, but like, no, like this bed right here, that is my favorite place ever. This room, favorite place ever. It may be very chaotic, but this is where I'm happy. This is where I'm safe. I love it. So Laura Ingalls Wilder, I mean, you know, fan of her since childhood. Shout out to her. Now we have the weekly CBR right here. I have not read anything today, so today we are going to attempt to finish Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez, translated by Megan McDowell. This is about a father and son. The mother and wife in the relationship, she passes away, but her family are a part of the secret society that's really into the occult. It is a very violent, dark society that they are a part of, and the father is trying to break the son away from that, and so his son doesn't have to live the same life that the parents lived. It is a horror, but adding in those big themes there. Next we have my mood read, which is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. I'm only like 8 pages into this, but the Owen sisters confront the challenges of life and love in this bewitching novel. And this is kind of a modern classic, I would say. This is the 25th anniversary edition that I have that includes an introduction by the author, and I loved the introduction. It was just so beautiful. Next, I am very close to finishing, is the classic 1984 by George Orwell, dystopian critique of fascism, totalitarian government, that kind of thing. And lastly, nobody ever told me if I should start this book now or wait until November, so I'm not going to start it until somebody tells me you should start it now. Or like, if nobody tells me by November, I will be starting this November 1st. But this is Tobias Whalen's The Singular 14 Society Yuletide Guide to High Strangeness, artwork by Emily Whalen and forward by Joshua Cutchin. This is a look at Christmas legends and compare them to modern anomalous phenomena to see what similarities exist. So it's basically just the paranormal aspects of the holiday season, and that is everything that I plan on reading this week. I guess we can do a mystical morning while we're here, because I'm just waiting for that camera to charge. So let me clean up all the books and then I'll get the cards out. The thing I remember most from my dream last night was eating a salad, so we're going to look at the Dream Encyclopedia and see what that means. No, I'm not a salad person. Yeah, it has to have a ton of dressing on it, cheese, you know, making it not healthy. I just am not a fan of the texture of leafy greens, so that is why I take a vitamin that has chlorophyll in it rather than eating leafy greens. I would much rather drink it because I just don't like the texture. So we're going to see if salad is in here. I mean, it might be, because I mean, there's some strange things in here, so I feel like salad should be, but you never know. Okay, we're in the S. Salad. Longing for nature and health, sometimes almost a hint to eat more healthfully. Maybe that's true. I'm getting over a migraine right now. Like, I'm feeling pretty good since I've started recording and everything. But yeah, I did have a migraine this morning. Not fun. It really like started last night, but I feel better today. And I like, sometimes if I don't throw up, I'm like, was that a migraine? Or was it just a headache that kept going and going? Because I used to clarify a migraine by just being a headache that lasts for a certain amount of time. Like, I have to take like 3 doses of Tylenol, you know, so a headache that probably lasts over 24 hours. But now, yeah, I don't know. So we're gonna ask the cards, what are my feelings going to be like today? Get this one. What is my health going to be like today? What are my thoughts going to be like today? And let's put these ones aside over here. So for feelings, oh, we've had this card before. The Four of Challenges, which is the Four of Swords reversed, because we did draw in the reverse. You see this like fruitful tree and everything. Let's see what this means. So again, this is with feelings: exhaustion, burnout, deep contemplation, and stagnation. Yeah, I don't really want that because I have been emotionally burnt out fairly recently. Last week I think it was pretty good, but I don't want to get back into the cycle of emotional burnout. It sucks. I hate it. And it's really just like meeting energy, or like dealing with energy vampires is the term that I learned from the Empath Reddit, of people who just, I don't think they realize it, that they're just draining you, and I'm just like, oh, this is a lot. and then it's me. I've been going out a lot more than I have in the past, and I've just been so busy. And this week it does look like it is going to be kind of busy towards the tail end of the week, so that's fun. But at least I had like all last week to rest. So that was that card. So my health card is the oldest one. Look, this reminds me. So it's like this tree guy, and then it reminds me of this. I'm not sure what this card is about. So it's the 5 card, the oldest one. I'm going to look up what this means. Maybe it's called like the Elder or something, but it's like a tree god, you know, he's like a tree. That is super cool. Let's see what it means. I don't remember if we drew him reverse or not. I don't think it was reverse. So I have drawn that card in the reverse. I need to find out what it means in a normal way. Seeing what this card is called, I have no idea how you pronounce this. The Hierophant, I think, is how you would say it. So this was our health card. We drew it in the upright, and from Biddy Tarot, it means religion, group identification, conformity, tradition, and beliefs. So we need to be praying for this migraine to get out of here, which it is getting out of here. So religion, fun. Now let's see what my thoughts are going to be. We have the 9 of Challenges, which we have been drawing this card in the reverse lately. So now we have it in the traditional sense. So we have this person who is hiding. There's a very scary being, kind of looking like a demogorgon, that is trying to find them. They're hiding. So let's see what this means. And it is the 9 of Swords, by the way. The 9 of Challenges means indecision, choices, truce, stalemate, and blocked emotions. So that's what we're going to be thinking about today, is choices, and the choices that we are making. And maybe the choice of me not checking my camera battery yesterday, seeing if it needed to be charged. But that is the mystical morning for the day. Let me show y'all the cards. There they are. I'm experimenting with the lighting. I have no idea how this is going to look, but I do look like Dan the raccoon, who is one of the raccoons I watch on TikTok, because the migraine, it did kind of come back. I don't know if it was from the migraine or if it was what I ate, because I didn't feel nauseous until I ate lunch and then I threw up. But I'm very like just snacking since then, but I am going to attempt to eat dinner, have a sandwich. I hope it goes well. But I did end up, oh, well, all that being said, so I didn't finish Our Share of Night in the 3 o'clock hour, because that is when I was throwing up. So I didn't get to, we're not going to finish 2 books today like where I was going to read our graphic novel. So stay tuned for tomorrow's vlog to see how we go about that. But as of right now, I have finished Our Share of Night. I read 47 pages today, and we're going to, okay, y'all can see it if I put it right there. We're going to go through Kaw Pow with the, okay, we have my notes right here. So with the characters, I literally felt 0 towards them. So we're gonna do a 2, because I didn't hate them, but I didn't have empathy for them. I didn't feel a connection for them, and I honestly don't know how that happened, because for the vast majority of this book, our main character is a child, and a child going through awful traumatic things, and usually that will make me feel something. Even if I'm not necessarily liking the book, I can still feel for somebody in those situations. Now, his dad, Juan, I didn't like him as a person, but that's not to say his character work was bad, because it was understandable why he was the way that he was, but I just never connected with that character. Next, we had the atmosphere, and I did like the atmosphere. I'm going to give that a 3. We are in Argentina, and that maybe I would have liked a little more background knowledge on that, but that's not going to do on their situation, their like political situation, on their history. But I mean, that is me being ignorant. That's not the book's issue, but I just want to say, I would have liked a little more background knowledge. So if you pick this up, maybe do some Wikipedia. Shiver, sorry. Maybe do some Wikipedia on Argentina and its history beforehand, because I had no idea. So, you know, you always hear like, oh, Hitler went to Argentina, the Nazis went to Argentina, which they might have. I don't know, because again, I haven't done any research on the history. So, you know, you always hear that, but I didn't know, like, before that, we're going, you know, back to the days of colonization, of when the Americas were being colonized. I did not know a lot of Europeans who aren't Spanish. So again, the English, Scottish, Nordic peoples, Germanic peoples went and colonized Argentina. I did not know about that. I assumed it was just the Spanish, but then it does make things like the, is it the Falkland Islands? I get them confused. Okay, I'm getting them confused with the Faroe Islands. It's the Falkland Islands that are down south, Faroes up north. But it just makes like so many, these other historical moments that I know of from like English history, I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. So it did expand my knowledge on this place, but also that first section of the book, I loved the magical vibes. I know Delilah's still outside because again, I just was migrating and did not feel like getting her in, which she's fine outside because it's literally like, it's not cold. Like, I'm cold, but it's not cold enough for a dog, you know, and she's coming in after I film this clip. But as for the writing, no, I did not like the writing. We're going to give the writing a 2-star because it was very confusing. Sometimes the writer would use parentheses, sometimes she wouldn't, and sometimes when we'd go to a new section, because it's not chapters, it's sections, we'd go to a new section and it would just be like, whose perspective is this? How is this connected to the rest of the story? What is happening here? Where I would just have so many questions because of how it was written, and that would leave me confused. So I probably was just trying to unravel that and not actually paying attention to what is happening in the story. It does all connect, but I just wish it was formatted in a different way, because it all, as I said, it all does come together eventually, but it's just such a like chaotic way of how it comes together, that it was just really confusing for me to read. Now the plot I am going to give a 3, because if we think to what this is about, reading the blurb of the book, I do think that is a good idea. I did think it was interesting, and I was intrigued by this magic system, by the secret societies. And if you're somebody who, if you want a mix of Stranger Things and a little life, this is it. This is it. Now, as I said, I did definitely prefer plot lines that were more magic heavy, more horror heavy, because we did have this huge chunk of the book where we're just seeing Jasper's and Juan's life in Buenos Aires, and it was just like a slice of life in the 1980s in Argentina. Like, it brought nothing new to the table, when those other chapters had this magic system, this secret society that I was really intrigued by. So I did get bored in the middle. But we do have themes here of love versus duty, and having maybe like a commitment or inheritance put onto your shoulders. You didn't ask for it, and it's having to come to terms with that, and having, again, with the love versus duty, it's like, am I going to break away from my family? Am I going to break away from everything I've known, or am I going to stick to what I've known, even if it's not necessarily what I want? So I do think destiny is also, I think destiny kind of goes hand in hand with those themes that I was talking about there. So intrigue, again, I'm gonna give that a 3 because at the start of the book, it started out so strong. I was very intrigued, but as the book progressed, it wasn't like that first section where it feels like we're on the run. We have Juan and Jasper, they're leaving Buenos Aires. We know that Rosario, who is Juan's wife and Jasper's mother, has passed away, and we know that they're running from Buenos Aires, it seems like, and that was really intriguing, just not knowing where that was going to go. I was on the edge of my seat, but the rest of it I was pretty bored by. And again, I think that can fall back on the character work as well. I'm not connected to the characters, therefore I don't really care what's happening to them. Logic, I'm actually going to give a 4 because I loved at the end of the book where we have this one of the characters who is going to medical school and is actually getting scientific evidence of why everything that is happening. I really like that. So for enjoyment, I'm going to have to give a 2 because it didn't do anything for me. Now we're going to do the math. I'm getting the phone to get the calculator open. Why did I open the camera? We scroll down and go to our calculator here, and we are going to do the math. This ends up equaling a 2.71. That will go in as a 2.75 onto Goodreads. So I would recommend this one with a maybe. If any of this intrigues you, you might enjoy it because this was actually one of the highest rated horror books on my TBR according to Goodreads, and it has been nominated for Goodreads awards back in 24 or 23. I'm not remembering exactly what year, so it has high praise, but it just wasn't for me personally. And that is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez, translated by Megan McDowell. I am going to be ending the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way through, leave a nighttime emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!